Episode 10. We made it.
Episode 10. Can you believe it?
Double digits. That's a milestone, right?
We're killing it in the podcast game. Oh, man. So, how you doing, buddy? How's the last week been for you?
Oh, just been waiting for this fight card. It's every day, checking it out.
You're telling
100%
me.
fully into this main event.
We're talking UFC 128, and we are excited. I'm just going to flat out just ask you, because I've been dying. We try now, because we podcast more, we try not to have too many off camera or off microphone conversations. So I've been dying to ask you.
Yeah, we're always save it.
Yeah, we're always save it. So here comes my big question. Till or Tyron?
I am heavy on Tyron. I'm going him for sure.
Oh,
I don't pick against him.
I can't. He's my man.
I'm about the guys that are I say underdogs, you know.
Yeah,
he's not getting the respect he deserves as the champion.
Ever since becoming champ, like it's never even been a situation where they're all respecting Woodley. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, to me, Woodley is Rashad Evans 2.0. He's like, you know, if you were to take Rashad, put him back in the lab, upgrade his like weaknesses, and bring him back, you got
put some power behind him. Boom.
Explosive. And no, I know what some people are, because he's black. No, not because he's black, but also because he's black. But he has a similar style to Rashad, similar even body structure, thighs like tree trunks. Just like when he explodes, it's like violent. It's scary.
And his base is wrestling. That's the crazy thing. How these wrestlers get all this power.
Man.
I think, you know what? Wrestling's the way to go.
It's the way to start.
Like, yeah, I would go wrestling before jiu-jitsu and anything else.
Hey, that's what I'm doing with my boys, man. Like, get them in wrestling, they get that core strength that they can use in striking. Like, do you remember the first image or the first kind of come up of Tyron Woodley and how just big he was? He's a little more shredded and leaned out now, but that came from what you just said, like just pure wrestling. And people forget he won his first like 5 fights via submission, did he not?
Yeah, it's for a guy that has a wrestling base.
Yeah. And
now is known as a striker. He started out with a lot of nice submissions.
Yeah, man. His first submission win, round 1, second one, round 1, third one, round 1. Then he arm bars a dude in round 2. Like, it's submission, and then in come all the striking and all that fun stuff. And that's fun to watch too, but yeah.
I don't like how maybe he took time off. Maybe he did certain things the wrong way and it rubbed people the wrong way, but he was
injury prone too. Like, he had some injuries to deal with.
But, you know, he's going all out every fight.
Yeah. Yeah, he puts it out there, man.
So not to take anything away from Darren Till, he's done really well for himself.
Till's come up as reminiscent to me of Connor's. Like, it is kind of scary how confident he is.
Well, hopefully he makes weight. That's the storyline of the week, right?
Yeah.
Will he make weight? Will he not? And I hate to say it, but he's looking a little, weak. Not weak, but like drawn out from the weight cut.
He's a big dude, man.
He should go up to, I think he should go up to like light heavy.
But here's the thing, like, and I agree with you. I agree with you. But what a lot of these guys do is they go, okay, everything's weigh-ins and this and that, but as far as height and all that, it's not considered. So if I can weigh a certain amount in the fight, I'm technically fighting a smaller guy, because they don't enter the ring at the weight that they weigh in at, ever.
Oh, no. You know? Look at like Brock Lesnar. He is not making 265 on fight night. He is like probably 3+.
Yeah, he's walking around 320, that guy, on an average day. Like, it's insane. But you look at Till, I mean, he's got a 75-inch reach. He's 6 feet tall. He's a pretty broad, like, he's a bigger dude than people think, right?
Well, he's looking pretty lean. Like, if you, we're going to post up on our Instagram, but a video of the stare down, he looks pretty close to Tyron.
He does, eh?
He's not as big and thick as we're used to. He's looking pretty slim.
That's got to be a disadvantage too, though, right?
And that, like, like, especially come fighting it. What, today's Thursday? We're recording on Thursday, folks.
Yep, Thursday.
And so Thursday by the fight night, he should be, depending how his weight cut's going, he should be good to go. But they're looking pretty even, and that confirms my pick with Tyron.
It does, eh?
Or Tyron, or however you want to say it. I always feel weird saying his name. Is it right? Is it wrong? Plus, he's out of ATT, so that's, you can't.
Yeah, people underestimate that. And I find a lot of the new generation doesn't focus too much on camps as we used to, because guys move around like NBA players now. Like, they used to be like, you knew GSP was fighting with, Faraz. And before that, it was Winklejohn, right?
Yeah.
He moved around.
Or Greg Jackson,
sorry. He moved around to see.
Don't want to pull another cowboy. Don't want to make you the cowboy Cerrone of the podcast community, man.
God damn, that was something else, eh?
Oh, it was cool. I don't know who to take though. I like Mike Perry, so I don't really have an opinion, I guess, on it. So
I think Cerrone's got a lot of fight in him. I just don't know how many more big victories he has.
We'll see come November.
I'm a huge Cerrone fan. You know that, like.
This might be the last one, man.
No, he's kind of in the winters of
fighting a killer, like a straight up. This is the old school breed. If you can take like the mentality of like 93 or 95, whatever, and put it in Mike Perry, that's the fighter.
Mike Perry's a scary motherfucker.
I think he's gonna be a tough challenge. I know we're going off the rails here, but it's the beauty of the sport.
Fight talk is fight talk, right?
So I think Perry is going to finish Cerrone.
I can't agree with you because
and violently.
So much love for, but I can't disagree either. I guess I should say.
I'm just expecting is the ref type moment, like, is he okay is what I'm gonna ask.
Well, that's the thing. Perry is not he's a violent motherfucker. He's not.
Yeah.
Oh, I worry, but I think the other thing I worry about is like,
I feel bad like saying this against people, so
yeah, me too. But I know Cerrone's really been enjoying his money, and he goes out and he buys his toys and that. And half the reason he even came, if you remember, he was kind of like done for a while, but he came back because he just like, I spent all my money. And it's like, that's not a good reason to fight, but I hope he's figured it out with his
he's
ranch and all that. Like, he's got his own little thing going now.
He's got that mentality. He's always been he's the old school mentality, right? Yeah. Like, that's... His body doesn't dictate how his mind thinks, right?
No.
So
body and mind are two different things.
Could you imagine just having a body that could just take all the injuries and whatever, and then have that fight mentality? Like, that would be a deadly fighter.
That's a whole different breed of fighter.
That's a
guy you don't want
podcast 3000 is when we're going to be talking with those guys.
Dude, at one point, I feel like these fighters are getting so elite and so like efficient that eventually it's just going to be like every fight's going to be 20 seconds, right? They're going to go in for the kill. They're either going to get it or they're not. And if they don't, that counter kill will come and it's like everyone's going to be flying.
Just like their rocket feet. Yeah. They're so powerful. They just lunge at them. They don't even move.
And all those bullshit martial artists that you see, it's like that's what you're seeing now in the
Bruce Lee, amateur. Just talking about.
Oh, man. How about those videos are still surfacing. I can't believe it of the fake martial artists and like.
Oh, I think it's a joke now. I think people are just.
Dude, some of them.
I think it was serious, and then people are like, "Hey, man, stop doing that. It's stupid." And then people are like, "Hey, that's actually kind of funny.
I kind of want to make one. Yeah, I want to make one myself.
Oh, we should make one.
Some of the ones that come out, you can tell were like VHS, bro.
Like, with advance, we can go back in time and make our own now.
Yeah,
advance in technology, we can be like, we were the first ones to make this.
Yeah, we'll just do like a VHS filter, get it all grainy, just like If
Stay
I
tuned
flick my hair this way, you'll watch Justin's heart collapse. Like,
if he moves this way, I can move the sun from this spot, and I broke his leg. So stay tuned, folks. We're going back in time. 1Up Mma retro edition.
Something else, man.
That'd be pretty funny.
So I guess that does. I guess we agree on the Darren Till fight. I mean, even though we both kind of think if anyone's going to be a danger to Woodley, it'll be Till.
Yeah, and I think if Woodley gets past Till, I think I'm going. I'm going to save my staff pick for you folks out there that are listening. But if it goes the way I think it's going to go, I think Woodley should get more respect than he.
I agree.
He's been getting
because he's had a couple boring fights, so everyone wants to put him in that category.
Well, when you're fighting guys like Wonder Boy, who's like a karate style point fighter, Damian Maya, man. It's hard to look good against guys like that.
And that's the thing, like some of these champs have brought up good points in the past and I 100% agree with this, is that when you're on the come up, you could fight a guy who's had like 4 international fights, 1 pro, maybe a few amateurs, or you could fight a guy that's really good. You never know. But when you're the champ, you're fighting guys that have fought their way through the ranks to get to you. So
exactly. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. So you can't take it lightly, and you can't just do your thing because they've been watching you do your thing for, hours on end just to prepare for your thing.
Perfect example is GSP.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, towards the end of that little run there before he took the break, GSP's boring. GSP's done. It's like, is he though? He's fighting number one contender who have been watching you defend. So it's easy to write the blueprint for the champion as the as the contender, but it's hard to write the blueprint to defend against 5-6 different contenders. So it's a crazy fight game, man.
It really is.
A lot of people criticize certain things when it's tough.
That's not the only belt on the line that night, though.
No, we got that.
You got that Nicco fight.
Ladies fight.
Go ladies. I saw that your article's getting a lot of a lot of traction.
A lot of some good, some bad. Yeah. A lot of people are either liking it or strongly against it.
Either way, it's stirring things up. I mean, for those that don't know, Justin here, our little genius friend, he posted an article putting out the question for an all-women's fight card and how people would feel about that. Because it is what inspired you to write that article, Justin?
It was pretty much I looked at the UFC 228 card and I saw Woodley Till, then Nicco and Valentina, and then it was just Jessica Andrade, Carolina, and then Tatiana and Carla Esparza, and it was just like that's all the fights were. So I'm like, hey, this actually looks pretty cool. So it was just like comparing that, and I'm like, UFC's never done something like that. No. Why not? Let's just get the ball rolling, So
I like it.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool. It'd be innovative for the UFC.
I think it would, and I see what people are saying, like, oh, women fights are boring ever since Ronda left, and because a lot of them are ending in decision and this and that, but I feel like Ronda was just more marketable and was able to get all her fights really out there, right? Now, like, there's some really good woman fights, female fights that people just don't know about because it's not Ronda, And in my opinion,
exactly.
In my opinion, Dana White is kind of one of those. If it ain't Ronda, I don't care.
Well, he was against anything female to begin with, so
exactly.
He might change his opinion. I just look at the fight a couple weeks ago, Angela Hill and Courtney Casey.
Oh my god,
those two were just throwing, and that's what I love about women fighting.
Yeah,
like I know they have Invicta, which is a great promotion.
Yeah,
but UFC needs to start making history again. Like double champions is kind of we've seen that before, but have we ever seen an all-female UFC card? No. So people are gonna hate on it. It's cool, but
hey, man,
you can't disagree that it's a cool concept.
It definitely is, and I think it's definitely something worth debating. And I like that you brought it up because no one's really talking about this, right? Everyone's talking about John Jones should fight Conor and all these stupid super fights, and Mike Tyson should come back and fight Woodley. Is like, come on, but. This is a good debatable question. Like, will people sit and watch a full night of female MMA?
I personally would.
I would. I mean, but
look at the talent on the roster. There's so many.
Don't forget though, you and I are true fight fans. So for us, we don't really see gender. We're gender neutral, if you will.
Yeah, there's certain guys out there like, hey, buddy, would you watch a all male fight card? Well, we have been.
Just the way you started that impression. I knew exactly who you...
Hey, man, hold my beer for a second, but wait a minute.
Who wants to see a bunch of girls fight like girls fighting like girls?
I've always liked women fighting. Like, it was Gina Carano when she started. I wanted to see that. Like, I didn't even care who was on the card. I'm like, Gina Carano and whoever she's going to fight is going to be an amazing fight card.
You know what's insane to me is to think that Gina fought Cyborg, and that's not like technically mainstream like history big fight. Like it was so.
Oh, that's so big.
It was so early on in the sport that I feel like it was almost like a waste. But again,
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So.
Like that's like Conor and Mayweather fighting. You know, I mean it's the same sport, but that's just as big as, in my opinion, as like when Chuck Liddell destroyed the shit out of Tito. And
oh man, like I'm getting it from Justin, everybody.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, you know what I mean, though, right? Like
exactly. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
It's like the GSP Matt Hughes rivalry, but it just never, you know, people still right now listening probably went, "What? They fought?
Who's that?
Who's that?"
Yeah.
Look into it, man. That was a hell of a fight.
To me, I was on the fence. You know, it's when your two favorites meet.
Yeah.
You have to go one route at the fight. Like when it comes to picking them, it's like I love Gina Carano, what she did, but I also knew what Cyborg could do. So that night I went Cyborg, and it was a difference. It's either you went continue with Gina Carano or you had to support. So you know it was. I honestly I think you should look into that fight.
Yeah, and that would be a nice one to do a rivalry or even a From the Vault.
I'm pretty sure we do have a From the Vault up of that.
Of the Gina Cyborg fight?
Yeah, I'm gonna
revisit.
Not sure what week it was, but
that was a good one, man. There's so many good ones, and again, for those that want to see or just discuss older fights, hit up our website and check out the Vault. You can click.
Yeah, we have it. Week 4.
Week 4. Okay, it was a while ago. No, it's a great series, man. I love the From the Vault. It actually takes me back and starts reminding me of other fights that happen on those same cards and just how the world of MMA was back in the day. Like, it's a great little series, man. I'm glad you're doing it, and I'm glad people are loving it too. We're getting a lot of good responses on it.
Yeah, it's a good throwback to what we used to have, right? Because there's so many new fans that just might not know those fights that we know as 1Up MMA. We need to, hey, watch this. You might enjoy this, or hey, you might not enjoy that fight, but you like that fighter. And
every other sport and every other genre has a series of like, on this day, X amount of years ago, so and so, you know, Muhammad Ali did this and blah blah blah. I think MMA deserves to have its own from this day type of look at historical events, right? So it's definitely necessary.
With that, you know, I think we should wrap her up.
I'm game to wrap it up.
Episode 10, success.
Yes, thank you for listening. And again, as we get further, we're gonna bring in more of Taylor doing podcast stuff. You know, weekly recaps, all that fun stuff coming up, and I'm so excited. There's so much. There's so much.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up, man. Yeah. So much. Like keeps us on our toes for sure.
That's it, baby. So, Justin, thanks for having this chat with me.
Thanks for having the chat with me.
And we shall see what happens with the Cockney fighter against Tyron Woodley. Good luck, buddy.
The chosen one.
Yeah,
good luck on your picks.
Yeah, and good luck on your picks, and check out our staff picks, and hit us up for anything MMA related. We'd love to chat.
All right,
buddy. Have a good one.
Enjoy the fight Saturday. Yeah, enjoy Saturday.
Sounds good. Peace.